Praggnanandhaa is about to begin. And if you're Prague, Peter, you're fighting two enemies at once. You're fighting Magnus Carlsen, but you're also fighting the position. You cannot allow it to get too dry or too drawish. Let's see what Prague can offer us. E4 by Carlsen.
That's a kind of slight surprise for me. C5 obviously played, and C3. Magnus sticks to the Alapin, the strategy that Eric Garcia used against Praggnanandhaa, which backfired. On the other hand, now already Magnus anticipates, he knows which setup Prague is intending in a must-win situation.
And Magnus played it against Gukesh in their second match game. Carlsen. Yeah. Painful moments for Prague. No matter who you're rooting for, if you're a Magnus fan, you watch with sympathy. It's never pleasant. It's never easy to lose a final like this, but there's absolutely no shame. Hey, you lost to the greatest player in chess history. And how did you lose? You lost in a completely double-edged struggle that could have gone either way. You had Magnus where you wanted him out of the opening. So for Prague, zero shame, zero embarrassment. To the contrary, he put up a monumental fight all the way.
Yeah, bishop e3. Magnus is also sacrificing the pawn back, because after rook f8 he has bishop f7. Very important, making sure that you also trade off those bishops.
Yeah. Painful moments for Prague. No matter who you're rooting for, if you're a Magnus fan, you watch with sympathy. It's never pleasant. It's never easy to lose a final like this, but there's absolutely no shame. Hey, you lost to the greatest player in chess history. And how did you lose? You lost in a completely double-edged struggle that could have gone either way. You had Magnus where you wanted him out of the opening. So for Prague, zero shame, zero embarrassment. To the contrary, he put up a monumental fight all the way to the end. But it looks like his time at the World Cup is coming to an end, and he will have to settle for the runner-up position.
It was also so nice to see him giving the interview yesterday after he realized that, yes, Magnus was not feeling well the last couple of days, that he really hopes that Magnus will be able to recover and show his best. That's the sportsmanship. Yeah, that's the Prague. He's not trying to use some advantage on Magnus feeling not well. He wishes him the best and he wants to beat Magnus at his best. It does seem like it isn't going to happen. Rook f8 on the board. I'm expecting the move bishop f7, but White can also, but also White can fall back with the bishop to b3, saying that, you know what, I want to make sure that that knight from b6 will never start jumping to c4.
Indeed. Yeah, bishop f7 just forces the bishops up the board. Magnus still has all of the time that he started with, minus 30 seconds. But to come back to the graciousness demonstrated by Prague as Magnus drops back to b3, he will give back his extra pawn, but in return he will activate the rook from a1 and put it either on d1 or, even more to the point, on e1. This is what makes Prague, I think, as well as the other Indian talents, so easy to root for. I mean, at 18 years old, the professionalism that he demonstrates on the board, but also off the board, so gracious, so humble, great sense of humor. I think he's got all of the skills that he needs on the board, but once again, off the board, in order to have a long and illustrious chess career, and maybe one day in the not so distant future, a shot at the world title. And his journey will begin with a participation in the candidates tournament, where he has already secured a spot alongside Fabiano Caruana and, of course, Nijat Abbasov, who will play because Magnus Carlsen has turned down his participation already. So a lot of the credit goes to Prague's family, his mom, who travels with him to the tournaments and worries over every game, and obviously the hundreds of thousands, millions of fans who watch every step that these exciting Indian players take and cheer them on. This is just the beginning for Praggnanandhaa, and this is finally the coveted World Cup title for Carlsen. It's taken him a long time, but it seems like he is only moments away from claiming the final feather in his cap.
Yeah, I think we have to mention for the viewers who are not that familiar with positions that we would never dare to speculate about this kind of things if there would be real tension in the position. Black's problem is, however, that he's forced with the decision that he has to depart from his rook on e3. He can't play the move rook a8. Yes, and there is a handshake, rook takes e1, followed by a draw offer. Nothing left to do.
And the players amicably discussing this game. Perhaps a quick discussion of the opening theory. A great choice by Magnus Carlsen to play the Alpen so heads up. He knew the theory, and after he played knight takes d4 and brought his queen out to f3, it started becoming clear that Prag's winning chances were just non-existent. And in typical professional clean style, Magnus Carlsen secures victory at the 2020